top 3 could be the game that drives the most donations this weekend, I will feel like a god gamer, and you guys can help bring that reality to life. So your money is going to a super good cause, a really awesome charity. You can see their logo kind of chilling up in the top corner. Check out their website to learn more about them. I think there's a link to it in the Matcherino link. So please check that out. Donate if you can. We'd really appreciate it, and your money would be going to a super good cause.
Esselman, why are you here?
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, I saw. Thank you so much. Just that's your commentary, VC. So just to let you know, Testament. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. You guys can go on.
Yeah, no problem. So we're actually starting up. We have Sheridactyls versus Leonant. These two have been kind of jostling with one another for a position on our top 10 rankings for a while, and I think in the same way that Deca, you mentioned that you have been catching up and being able to take some games off of Leonant, I think Sheridactyls in like the same exact place. So I think the three of you, have formed your own little like cluster, jostling for power near the bottom of the rankings there. The bottom of the top 10, the bottom of the good rankings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am interested to see. I've played both of these players a lot, but I honestly, off the top of my head, don't know like their comfort characters. So I'm really interested to see how the counter picking goes after the Magician matchup.
I think who Leonant takes me to.
I think Sheridactyls is a high tier player. I think we're gonna see like a World or an Empress from them if we get to that. And Leonant has been taking me to mid tiers recently, like Chariot and stuff, but I don't know if that's just like they don't want to die to my pressure or that's actually who they like playing. So we will see.
I think the only high tier he really takes me to consistently is High Priestess.
Okay.
I would not be surprised if we see her.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunate for him because High Priestess is probably my only really good high tier.
Yeah. Oh, I also want to, if you can hold it down the fort for a second, I just want to tweet out the stream.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Sheridactyl's a little bit behind on quota, but with a good string of downstacking. Ah, wasn't quite enough though. Alright, let's see who Sheridactyls picks. Going for the High Priestess. Didn't give Leonant the chance to pick it.
Okay, I have jammed out a tweet and I am back in it. So let me update the sticky note. So High Priestess, I think, has like a really unique drop pattern compared to a lot of the other casts. She sends pressure in just like single columns, and it's really weird. But like if you're used to it, it's not that hard to actually defend against, despite her being like one of the higher tier characters, because you kind of just like, I kind of refer to it as like bailing out your board. You could just kind of move those like columns that are coming down left or right, even if they're not popping, just getting them off of that top column will save you a lot of the time.
Yeah, I like to use the two spires as my like feed for what I'm gonna match next.
Yeah.
And if I don't see an immediate match, I'll switch to the other side because that probably means I should downstack over there instead.
And if you if you can see Sheridactyl's board right now, like if they can match that blue, they're gonna get a huge swath like that. So sometimes the way her ice comes too, it's actually pretty easy to clear the back of your board.
Her pattern definitely rewards staying on top of it.
Yeah.
Some of the characters you kind of want to let feed up through your whole board, but High Priestess is definitely one that you want to stay low so you have access to the straight bars at the bottom.
Yeah. And you kind of have to access them through the middle, because that's the part that's not getting any pressure, that very middle column. It's going to get all that red, yeah. So if you're looking... Despite those big clears I've seen on Sheridactyl's side, still trailing behind on quota right now. Okay, all tied up here. One thing to also note, I've been trying to talk about this over the last couple of streams. I still don't know if I've like articulated it the way I want to, but when you're racing to quota, being ahead, especially near the end, isn't always the end-all be-all. Like, sometimes there is a rhythm or a tempo to how you are clearing, and even if you are a couple of bubbles behind, or even a dozen bubbles behind, if your tempo means that you will finish your next combo before your opponent, that is sometimes enough to put you ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Also, you have to pay attention because quota doesn't count down until your combo is over.
Yeah, that's a real big one.
Yeah, so I've definitely lost games where I was ahead in quota by 20 or 30, but then I did like a 6 or 7 chain, and I didn't realize we were that close.
And you'll hear me at some point if I notice that's going on stream. I will literally just yell, like, stop! They can't hear me, obviously. I'm yelling into the void, but you can tell, and it's really rough to like watch somebody else do it to themselves.
Yeah, because it's a mistake we've all made at some point.
So, Sheridactyls ran it back to High Priestess. Going down 2-0 early is rough, because that means you're going to have to win on 2 of your opponent's counter picks, even if you do win your own. So, we'll see if they could scrape back. But I think also, another thing about this game is, like, momentum is kind of real in it. Like, we've seen a lot of matches where somebody will be down 2-0 and then get on, like, a good momentum, and I don't know if it's, like, people crack under that pressure, or, you know, they're just really start feeling it and get into a groove after a certain game, but being down 0-2 is not necessarily insurmountable.
I almost always lose the Magician match, but then it's, like, enough to warm me up.
Yeah.
And I usually do better in my next couple, especially if I get a feel for whether they're just going to be spamming lines or racing me to quota.
I think another thing, too, is, like, the nature of this game. Like, we've been playing competitive for, like, a year now with, like, active events, but there's a lot of people who, like, this is the only game they play competitively, and our event's the only event they play in, and I still think those tournament nerves are super real for a lot of people. Like, some of us who've been playing lots of competitive games or playing competitive games for a really long time, like, don't feel that pressure as much as somebody who's, like, they really want to break through, they really want to get that big win, and I think that's what gives me a leg up over the people who are, like, right below me on the... Like, they'll beat me in friendlies fairly regularly, but, like, when it's in bracket and the nerves kick in, that X factor really helps me out.
Yeah, bracket nerves are brutal. I've been there before. I had a really unlucky round 1 match on the big stage at Big House.
Oof.
One year, and I lost, and I came off the stage, and my hands were literally shaking.
Yeah, I can imagine. Alright, so Leonant taking it 3-0. Not the result that I was expecting. I don't know if Sheridactyls is going to be super pleased with that one, but they're only getting knocked down to losers. They can definitely